Hello, it's the third day in August 2024, and this is Nationwide. You're welcome. I am Ogochkuka Ona. President Tinubu has officially commenced his state visit to the People's Republic of China with a bilateral meeting with President Xi Jinping. The president arrived at the Great Hall this Tuesday, leading the Nigeria delegation. After the welcome ceremony, President Tinubu went into talks with the host leader on how to build on the existing bilateral relations between Nigeria and China. At the end of the meeting, behind closed doors, the two leaders witnessed the signing of 5 memorandum of understanding on new areas of collaboration, which include peaceful use of nuclear energy, human resources development, and cooperation on television. We'll bring the details of the meeting in our subsequent bulletins. And now the 15th General Assembly of the African Union of Broadcasters has opened in Gaborone, Botswana, with delegates from Africa's 54 countries attending, with the theme, The Future of African Media Facing the Challenges of New Technologies and Climate Change. The 4-day event was declared open by Botswana's acting president, Mr. Thomas Sogwane, in a brief ceremony that also has ministers and top Botswana government officials. Discussions around the theme will feature 6 panels made up of top broadcast officials, practitioners, academia, and experts in different aspects of broadcasting. During the General Assembly, new officials to occupy the 15-member Executive Council are also to be elected to run its affairs for the next 2 years. Meanwhile, the AUB Council unanimously adopted the creation of the African Artificial Intelligence Observatory, an ambitious initiative aimed at supporting the continent's media in their digital transformation. The Council in its meeting emphasized the importance of this initiative as a step towards implementing the recommendations of the AUB Summit on Artificial Intelligence and Media held in March 2024 in partnership with UNESCO in Cameroon. And now Nigeria's creative economy is set to reach new heights, with the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy targeting $100 billion in annual revenue and 2 million new jobs by 2030 through international and private partnerships. Ngufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports.
Nigerians' vibrant cultural heritage and creative industries are poised for a major leap forward. Driven by the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture and the Creative Economy bold vision, the ministry's innovative 8-point plan is unlocking growth, innovation and sustainability across creative sectors, with a focus on skill development, policy reform and cultural preservation.
We've committed to creating $100 billion to increase the GDP, and also creating by 2030, and also creating at least 2 million jobs by 2027. And at the same time, call to action for partnership.
A call also for bilateral partnership with countries. It's an opportunity to really show that culture is a pillar, is pivotal for sustainable development goals.
We're ready. We need seed capital to build. But you bring your seed capital, we will reach $100 billion and much more.
What we can do as government is to partner with the private sector, giving it an enabling environment, how we can further have success in this amazing field.
The ministry and its partners are committed to creating a thriving creative ecosystem that showcases Nigeria's unique talent to the world and drives sustainable economic growth. In Abuja, Gufan Shaj Ugwanyi, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated commitments to the Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards Enhancement SPEED project, an initiative aimed at expanding the skilled workforce and driving socio-economic development across Nigeria. Permanent Secretary, Minister of Women Affairs and Ambassador Gabriel Aduda gave this assurance to the World Bank's Peace Task Team led by Mr. Ishak Sik on a visit to his office. Ambassador Aduda highlighted the establishment of a technical working group within the ministry composed of experts from various professional fields. to ensure the successful execution of the project's objectives. As a lead agency for implementing the social standards aspect of the Peace project, the Ministry of Women Affairs is working to expedite the launch of a certification portal, which will be instrumental in reducing corruption, creating new job opportunities for youths, as well as maintaining social standards in Nigeria in line with international best practices. The federal government says information being circulated on social media claiming that the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokiri, has directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to increase petroleum prices to 1,000 naira above the approved price is false and should be recognized as an intentional effort to mislead the public. A statement by Special Advisor Media and Communication to the Minister for Petroleum Resources Oil, Nnemeka Okafor, condemned the claim, describing it as malicious and a deliberate attempt to incite public discontent. Nnemeka Okafor reiterates that NNPC Limited operates as an independent entity under the Companies and Allied Matters Act with a fully empowered board of directors. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources does not and will not interfere in the internal decisions of NNPC Limited. Nigerians are therefore urged to be vigilant and rely only on information from verified and official channels. All right, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to address food insecurity is progressing in Yagba West, that is in Kebbi State. The Omikampe Dam in Yagba West local government area is being revitalized to support the cultivation of 500 hectares of land. The potential for power generation from the dam is also being explored. Jonathan Omajale reports on this development.
The vast stretch of fertile land in the Omikampe area of Yagba West local government in Kogi State is one of Nigeria's underutilized natural assets. The Omikampe Dam provides water to largely untapped farmlands. It is managed by the federal government under the Lower Niger Basin Development Authority and was primarily constructed for irrigation purposes. However, despite the dam's 18 kilometers of irrigation canals, the land remains significantly underutilized.
We are getting minimum of 500 hectares of land to be cultivated. And for now, I think they are cultivating below 1,000.
If there is enough water, at least for rice production, I can farm 4 times per annum.
As both state and federal governments prioritize agriculture in the fight against food insecurity, the dam and its surrounding arable lands are drawing renewed interest. The Kogi State government, in partnership with the World Bank, plans to harness both the agricultural and power generation potentials of the area. A team from the State Ministry of Water Resources, along with a delegation from the World Bank, visited the site to conduct an inspection and gather baseline data.
Second component of the project is the power generation, which is to a large extent what we see here. I think according to their selection criteria from the World Bank, it will also satisfy that.
The project is scheduled to commence in the first quarter of next year. Jonathan Majali, NTA News.
Another important road linking Yobe and Borno State from the southern flank at Abuja and Katarko axis has collapsed following downpour that lasted several hours in the area. This is 3 days after a bridge in Yobe State collapsed, disconnecting 9 local government areas from Damaturu, the state capital. All right, we'll now be taking our next set of reports from Lagos, and Adeola is our guide. Okay, I understand that Adeola is not ready. We'll now continue with the reports that we have, and we take the one coming that tech experts from Somalia are on a 1-week study tour to Abuja to advance the knowledge and that of data data protection. This, the Nigeria Data Protection Commission describes as a bold step towards strengthening national security. Ayodeji Makinde reports.
These August visitors who are in Nigeria for the first time in September came with youthfulness in their ranks to tap from the wealth of experience on the other side of the table with Nigeria Data Protection Commission officials. Officials of Somalia Data Protection Agency, led on the tour by Head of Mission Ambassador Jamal Mohamed Barrow, explains that the East African country is emerging from years of internal conflict. Hence, the need to incorporate youth in leadership roles to shape their own future and that of their country.
All our civil servants are very young. Most of them younger than these people. Why we are doing that? Because they are the dynamic people who can move Somalia forward. And it is the policy of the government to give a chance to the young people.
With your name now is linked to your passport, linked to your driver license, linked to so many other things. So you identify as a citizen. And that is why we are saying those who have these records in their position must put in place measures to secure them.
The event featured an interactive session where the National Commissioner Vincent Olatunji highlighted broad areas of Nigeria's journey so far in data privacy, legislation, engagement with key stakeholders and creating awareness with the digital ecosystem as pathways to attract foreign direct investment. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army Department of Military Secretary is adopting technology to improve data collection and storage as catalyst in view of global advancements. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this convergence of military secretaries is aimed at ensuring efficient data management in line with the digital era, a panacea for sustaining a professional Nigerian army within a joint environment.
Effective data management and record keeping ensures the preservation of institutional data and records of vital historical value to facilitate quick decision-making and sound administration of the Nigerian Army for years to come. The knowledge that will be shared during this seminar will therefore be instrumental in enabling us to maintain accurate records, facilitate informed decision-making, and optimize our overall effectiveness in the administration of the Nigerian Army.
By focusing on current best practices in our data management and record-keeping system, we will ensure that the Nigerian Army remains adaptive, resilient, and capable of meeting the demands of a joint environment.
The workshop will imbue participants with best practices in data management and foster efficiency of the Nigerian Army. We'll be going out to Jos, and Mary is our guide on Nationwide today from that end. Hello, Mary. You're on.
Chikuka, welcome to Jos. Plateau State Government has inaugurated a 25-man committee of Plateau Youth Interfaith Forum as a way of sustaining religious tolerance and mutual understanding among citizens. Governor Mutfwang, during the event in Jos, urged key players to work towards peace for meaningful development of the state. Ndayang and Yebagang have more.
On assumption of office, Governor Caleb Mutfwang promised to work towards sustainable peace for meaningful development. He swung into action with the inauguration of peace committees. The inauguration of this Youth Interfaith Forum is the latest.
I want us to see practical implementation of our quest for unity.
The governor also charged key players not to relent efforts until total peace is restored, as he commenced search for common ground for its commitment to peace and harmonious coexistence.
There are other structures for peace building so that we can facilitate dialogue. Let's talk. Let's dialogue. We must be responsive as leaders. When you hear tension building anywhere, you must be the first to make the move to finish that tension.
We are proud of our continuous support to the Plateau State Peacebuilding Agency agency with the necessary resources and training, and are further committed to strengthening the agency's capacity to deliver its core mandates.
Stakeholders unanimously agreed to work relentlessly with the youth for lasting peace. In Jos, Indenyan and their gang, NTA News.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, has flagged off tree planting campaign in the institution with a call on stakeholders to promote healthy ecosystem. Ichoma Ozemena has details.
The importance of planting trees cannot be overemphasized as it promotes the health and social well-being of the population and also conserve the ecosystem. To this end, the University of Jos is taking the initiative of the tree planting campaign alongside other key partners towards preserving the natural environment.
Apart from the natural plant, we really have maybe close to 30 to 40 now, and plants that we felt should be brought here to be preserved for the future generation.
We are going to plant trees in 7 northern states, including Plateau.
Most of us these days, we see us in the homes, we are just trying to do interlock all round, forgetting about we need trees around us.
Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Ishaya Tako, says the initiative is apt, considering the challenge of climate change to the environment and pledging support of the institution for the success of the project.
This is what we need at the moment in order to ensure that the earth is green, in order to continue to provide conservation of some of the trees that are probably extinct.
More than 300 species of trees are planted in the botanical garden for the tree planting campaign tagged "Let's All Save the Earth." In Jos, Ijeoma Ozemena, NTA News.
And that's a contribution from Jos. A break now beckons, and the news will continue in Abuja with Ogchukuka afterwards.
Thank you for staying tuned. Then we begin with political matters. The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party says it is confident of winning the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Ologunagba, at the media briefing in Abuja, also re-emphasized that PDP is not a merger with any other political party and that no member is above the party. Timothy Yusuf reports.
PDP national spokesperson Debo Ologunagba emphasized that the party's candidate in the September 21 governorship election in Edo State, Dr. Aswe Godalo, is acceptable across political parties and citizens of Edo State, and that from all credible indices across the 18 local government areas of the state, the PDP candidate is coasting to victory.
Aswe Godalo has an agenda tailored towards the policies and programs and visions of the PDP, and he ably presented prosperity for all.
On the state of affairs in PDP, the national spokesperson disclosed that PDP is not in any merger or alliance with any other political party at the moment. He also reacted to some comments made by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, that he will put any PDP-controlled state whose governor gets involved in conflict between him and Governor Simfo Bara on fire.
The governors' forums will speak to that. What we know is that anybody, and this is clear, that there's nobody is above this party.
He records that no individual is above the party and the PDP will continue to remain on the side of the people. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And now health. For 25 years, the National Hospital in Abuja has been on a mission to provide exceptional health care to millions of Nigerians, from life-saving treatments to groundbreaking medical practices, while pushing the boundaries of medical innovation. To mark this milestone, Chief Medical Director, Professor Mohammed Raj, shares with newsmen how the hospital has played this vital role in advancing health care across the country. Uche Ogochukwu has details.
In a quiet ward at the National Hospital Abuja, Rose Oge sits on her hospital bed, her battle with lung cancer written in her every breath. The usual buzz of patients here at the hospital is absent, a stark reminder of the ongoing resident doctor strike. Yet, here Rose remains cared for and comforted. For patients like Rose, the National Hospital is not a building or a place of getting the care she needs at times like this. Established in 1999, the National Hospital has since evolved into a center of care for all, regardless of age or gender.
It has served as a training ground for a number of our experts in the medical field. The first institution to have a LINAC machine in the whole of West African sub-region. As at today, we are about the lowest cost in terms of IVF. We also boast of the first trauma center in the sub-region.
From its advanced technology to the countless healthcare professionals trained within its walls, it has become a pillar of hope and healing for many requiring complex medical procedures. For Rose and many others, this hospital is more than just a facility.
Then they treat me well, then they take care of me.
Major challenges facing the hospital is paucity of funds to carry out its routine activities and to complete ongoing projects. Cost of diesel and cost of electricity, it really takes a big chunk of what we are able to generate.
Professor Raji believes that easing this burden will require more than just internal solutions. He is calling for public-private partnerships to step in, especially to support the care of indigent patients who need it most. Uche Uchwu, NTA News.
And still talking health, 7 ambulances have been distributed to general hospitals in Kebbi State. Governor Nasir Idris, while distributing the vehicles, described improving logistics in healthcare centers as a key element in enhancing health emergency services in hospitals across the state. Correspondent Abdul Mohammed Bawa reports.
The vehicles distributed include 7 ambulances to general hospitals in Zuru, Agungu, Yauri, and other areas, as well as 5 buses and a Toyota Hilux to various state ministries, parastatals, and the government house press crew.
This increases our morale in achieving our aim by supporting him and promoting the image of the government.
During the distribution ceremony, Governor Idris emphasized the importance of the vehicles in improving service delivery and charged the beneficiaries to utilize them effectively.
The era of limp vehicles for 5 drivers to drive has passed. So you must make sure that this car is being attached to a driver.
Governor Idris further stated that his administration is committed to providing vehicles to all ministries and agencies in the state, ensuring seamless service delivery and efficient governance. In Kebbi, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA.
To be a technical hitch, we'll now take a break at this point. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for staying tuned. Now, the federal government is making frantic efforts to revitalize and operationalize a workable framework in running a more effective health system in the 774 local government areas in Nigeria. But we'll continue with this report. We now go to Lagos. Adeola is now ready for us. Now ready for us.
Thank you, Ogachukuka. Sequel to the seizure of more than 6,000 pieces of donkey skin valued at 6.8 billion naira, the Nigeria Customs Service is committed to deepening surveillance towards ensuring that trade in endangered species is totally eradicated. The controller of the Federal Operations Unit Zone A, Kola Oladeji, said killing of 6,000 donkeys for selfish purpose poses both existential and financial threats to the ecosystem. Michael Olaleye reported that 14 suspects were arrested in connection with various seizures in the month of July.
Unit proactiveness in nipping any smuggling activity in the bud, especially in the coming months, is there to the Federal Operations Unit A, and in matching words with action, 70 seizures were made in the month of July. This container stands out simply because of the distinctiveness of the crime involved. The customs said close to 6,200 donkeys might have been killed before such number of skins could be extracted, and if not for intelligence, the consignment intercepted within the port community will have through exports. The pride for the customs is not just about clamping down on the consignment, but resisting temptation of a juicy offer.
Money was offered, millions of naira, to the lady officer, but she rejected it. If this container had been loaded and exported, it's gone, and the person will make his money. Ordinary donkey go to Jigawa is 350,000 naira. So if they have 6,000 plus, they have killed 6,000 donkeys.
Within the period under review, 15 units of imported vehicles were seized, but this particular one is spectacular, as more than 37,000 sachets of tramadol were concealed. The euphoria for the unit comes from not just increasing duty paid value on seized items by more than 1,000% when compared to 2023, but also because no single shot has been fired despite the huge volume of seizures recorded within 4 months. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Fake news has been a thorny issue exacerbating social tension and undermining trust in credible information sources. With the widespread use of social media, misinformation has increased, thereby causing severe consequences. In this report, Joel Okwola takes a look at its impact and how the trend can be curtailed.
From false and inciting reports to misleading health information, fake news has become a first resort, spreading like wildfire. Experts say the era of citizen journalism, which has made everyone assume the role of a journalist, has weaponized misleading information, which many treat as a joke or some sort of prank.
Media houses, especially very reputable and strong-standing media houses, have a responsibility to fact check. Seriously do a research and fact check to ensure fake news is not being amplified.
While it takes just a click to spread this unverified information, many swallow this false narrative without verification.
Who is the origin of this news? What's the origin? What's the source? Take one measure, put one measure on this, support these things.
Media experts say it has become imperative for journalists to rise to the challenge of combating fake news by upholding the highest standards of accuracy and accountability in reporting.
We have what is called gatekeeping, and we cannot just release news out there as professional. So a lot of things are out there that are fake. Anywhere that somebody comes and introduces herself as journalist without the ID card that has a number and a pin to say you are a true journalist in Nigeria, they should not be given an opportunity. Any story peddled by such a person should be regarded as fake.
An unrelenting enlightenment campaign against the menace of fake news and misleading information, as well as basic literacy, which is fact-checking, especially mitigate the threat of fake news. In Lagos, Joel Okwola, NTA News.
And we're done from Lagos. Ogachikuka is back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Adiola. And we return to the earlier report we're taking before we join you. The federal government is making frantic efforts to revitalize and operationalize a workable framework in running a more effective health system in the 774 local government areas in Nigeria. This was during a stakeholders engagement on renewed partnership with the World Bank and NDDC to improve healthcare delivery at the grassroots, with priority to accessibility and treatment.
It gives a big room opportunity to change the narrative in Nigeria, to get work done, to achieve results in terms of improve our indices, especially the maternal, newborn, and child health indices, and our overall indices in the health sector. So you can see that the WHO is here, the partners, donors are here. And the interesting thing is that even within Nigeria, we have the private sectors involved. The private sectors, the NDDC also, they are involved in it, and delivery of services within communities that they work, and LNG. And they've shared very good experiences and lessons, what have worked within their communities. So it shows that it's not a task that cannot be accomplished. It's a task that we can realize in Nigeria with the right commitment, with the right leadership, which we have today.
National President, Association of Local Government of Nigeria, Aminu Maifata, said authorities at the council level are open and willing to embrace partnership aimed at changing the narrative. This is coming as stakeholders reaffirmed commitment to leveraging the direct federal allocation to local governments in attending to challenges at the third tier of government. Okay, we now join Comfort Ayim in Enugu for more reports today.
Welcome to Enugu Network Center. Enugu State Government has inaugurated 4 newly constructed roads in Enugu. Among them is the Obinagu Road, named after the popular music legend like Ejaba. Governor Peter Mba also announced that the state government will take over the responsibility of the music icon, Chika Ugwu reports.
The atmosphere was charged with joy and excitement as the people came out in their numbers to witness Governor Peter Mba visit the 94-year-old music icon, whose folktale music dominated the airwaves in the 1980s and recently became a viral dance challenge, bringing his timeless music back to the limelight. Governor Peter Mba's visit is part of an effort to recognize and appreciate the contributions of cultural icons such as Mike Ejaya.
Mike Ejaya Road for the benefit of people of Enugu.
Governor Mba reiterated his commitment to fulfilling his social mandate and gave assurance of the construction and dualization of more roads.
I want to assure you that the commitment we made to serve you with every fiber of our being can never be lost on us. And we're going to work for you with everything we have. This is one of the testaments to show that love for your people is what goes on in your vein every day. Your leadership and your push, this is one of the results.
Elated residents of the area applauded the state government, noting that the road infrastructure will impact positively on their lives and businesses. In Enugu, Chika Ugwu, NTA News.
The state of the Asphalt Productions plant to aid the actualization of the state government's projected 10,000 kilometers of asfalted roads within 4 to 8 years in the state has been inaugurated by Governor Peter Mba. Chika Ugwu again has the details.
Inaugurating the Asphalt production plant, which is the first in the southeast region, Dr. Peter Mba said the plant is expected to produce 2.5 tons of asphalt per minute and 160 tons per hour, more than enough to ensure that no road in the state is unpaved and new ones constructed. The governor announced that a plant for local mining of raw materials such as stones and bitumen will also be commissioned soon.
Everything will be localized. We get the bitumen here, we get the stones, we get the sand, so everything is made in Enugu. That brings us closer to the dream of paving a minimum of 1,000 kilometers every year
in Enugu State. You made the pronouncement of paving 10,000 kilometers of road. It was mind-boggling at the time. By working with you every day, connecting all dots. Some you said, some you disclosed to us, some you did not. But the dots, we can see the picture coming, the chicken coming home to roast.
Your administration has shown us unflinching commitment to transforming the Enugu State landscape, ensuring that it becomes a pillar of progress and development, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa and the entire world.
With this new feat, the governor is optimistic that infrastructural development will be fast-tracked in the state, while farmers in rural areas will easily access their farmlands. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Those are the stories from here. It's back to you for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Comfort. And now 60 students have graduated from Yahaya Sani Institute of Quranic Memorization with an advice that they should use the knowledge acquired to improve the society. Shola Wahid was at the graduation ceremony and now reports.
The Quranic recitation kickstarted the valedictory ceremony. In his words of encouragement, Professor Korede Agbarigidoma, who spoke on the significance of Islamic knowledge, told graduates not to put a stop to both Western and Islamic education.
We advise the students to face both Islamic and Western education in order to have impact on the society.
We are proud of these children. We are happy. My only advice to the parents is that we should not always rely on Western education. Islamic education should also be combined.
Take the learning of Islam, Islamic study, to give it more importance, because with this, children will be able to live an impactful life.
49-year-old Ibrahim Taiwo Adeleke is one of the graduates. His passion for both Western and Islamic education spurred him to seek more knowledge.
I know that every step you take is seeking for knowledge of about Islam. You are going to be rewarded. I've traveled from Lagos to learn here. I've learned different things that has made me a better person in my life.
The occasion featured a presentation of certificates to the final year students. The Yahya Sani Institute for Quranic Memorization and Islamic Studies trains male and female pupils within Asakwa State in learning and memorization of the Quran. In Shola Wahid, NTA News.
Now, Kano state government is set to reopen 15 boarding secondary schools closed down about 4 years ago. Governor Kabir Yusuf, in a visit to one of the schools in Albaso local government area, said this is part of strategies to achieve positive outcomes from the state emergency declared on education. We will now be linking up with Abdullahi Mustafa, who will now be giving us a backstory on what led to the declaration of the state of emergency by the Kano state government. Of course, what are the pointers that the boarding schools are prepared to resume in earnest? Hello, it's over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. As you said, the state of emergency was declared after an assessment of the education sector by the Kano state government on the situation of the condition of education, and it was discovered that 90% of primary and secondary schools are lacking in the needed infrastructure and of school furniture. So also the state has about 1 million, I think 989,200 out of school children. So that prompted the state government to allocate 29.9 billion percent of the 2024 approved budget to the education sector, and which is 95 billion naira out of the 437 billion naira. So, and additionally, more schools are being constructed and additional classroom blocks are being built across the 54 local government areas to accommodate more pupils, because there is going to be a massive campaign for increased enrollment, especially at the grassroots. There is also the reopening of the 15 boarding schools. Some are even science schools, like the one in Albasu and Karai and, of course, Garko local area. For 4 years, those schools have not been operating. No student was graduated therefrom. So presently, the government is constructing additional classroom blocks and rehabilitating the existing ones. And behind me, classroom furniture are being produced for onward distribution to those schools that are being renovated or built. And as promised by the governor, in the next 2 years, all the dilapidated facilities will be rebuilt and will be rehabilitated in due course. And there is also another plan by the government to ensure that those 989 students that are out, children that are out of school are absorbed into primary schools in the state. So far, this is what the state government is doing, and the target is 2 years, which the governor promised during the declaration of state of emergency and the recent education recovery conference, which was laid live on NTA. Many people might have seen that stakeholders from within and outside the country were invited and made presentations on what to be done. And the governor was emphasizing
very much, Abdullahi.
The provision of additional facilities.
Abdullahi seems to have a lot to tell us, but because of time, thank you so much for joining us. And from Kano, we'll be going to Sokoto now, and Sadia is our guide for more reports.
Joining us in Sokoto. Following the flood disaster that ravaged many farming communities, the Sokoto state government is to spend 46 billion naira on Lugu Dam project and Wurno irrigation scheme to boost all year-round agricultural activities and make the state sufficient in food production. Governor Ahmed Aliyu made the disclosure at the ongoing thank you visit to agrarian communities in the eastern part of the state, where he calls on politicians to desist from politicizing matters of security. Dalata Abdullahi reports.
Already the thank you visit train has visited 15 out of the 23 local government areas of the state for interacting with people. It is now the turn of Isa, Goranyo and Wurno, where State Deputy Governor Idris Mohammed Gobir, local government sole administrators, and a host of community leaders expressed gratitude for different people-oriented policies, programs and projects executed in their localities by the state government. However, like Oliver Twist, the communities presented series of demands with emphasis on provision of security that has been a major concern of people in the eastern axis of the state. Responding to the requests, Governor Ahmed Aliyu reiterates that his administration is doing all it could to support security agencies and appeal to people in the areas to provide them with the necessary assistance to end the activities of bandits to make the state safe for all. On Lugu Dam and the Wurno irrigation project, the state government has finalized arrangements to commence Lugu Dam project within 3 weeks, awarded at the cost of 33 billion naira. That of Wurno irrigation scheme at the tune of 30 billion naira, alongside rehabilitation of 25 irrigation boreholes at the cost of 1.2 billion naira.
I want to use this opportunity and warn people to stop politicizing issues of insecurity in the states.
Former Governor Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Homako thanked the people of the area for their continuous support to the governing APC and urges them to contribute their quota in the fight against banditry. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Sokoto State stands as a beacon of spiritual and cultural excellence in Nigeria, recognizing the profound impact of Islamic values on the state's identity and development. Sokoto State government has embarked on a mission to reposition Islamic activities and harness their transformative power to shape a brighter future for its people. In this report, correspondent Bashir Ibrahim Nababa chronicles the government's effort to revitalize Islamic institutions, promote inclusive growth, and foster a harmonious society through strategic initiative and collaborations.
Since the coming of Governor Ahmed Ali's led administration, there had been concerted efforts to revamp worshiping centers and majoris in their education, cemeteries, and promote welfare of Islamic clerics towards propagation of the religion in the state. This is made possible by the introduction of a number of policies and programs implemented under the Ministry for Religious Affairs. The Commissioner, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Dr. Jabir Sani, stated that such interventions and the areas of construction, renovation, and furnishing of Jumu'at mosques, with some ongoing, aimed at providing conducive worshipping environment for faithful.
We have capital projects where major maintenance were made, and these are basically in the masajid within Sokoto metropolis and the environs.
To revive the Al-Majri system of education neglected years ago, the Al-Majri Model Boarding School in Dangeshuni has received a major boost in infrastructural development and feeding of the pupils, among others. Ramadan feeding centers were established and expanded in the state capital and across the 23 local government areas for breaking of the Ramadan fast by the less privileged. To bring sanity into the scholars' preaching activities and duties of muazzims, a workshop was organized to sensitize them on the rudiments in line with Islamic teachings, and at the same time being supported with food and cash assistance to enable them observe Eid al-Adha with ease. Another area of priority is the facelift and securing of cemeteries to enable them accommodate more dead bodies in line with the dictates of Islam.
We received many complaints from people, and immediately we moved to site and we provided a concrete drainage to ease the flow of water in the cemetery.
Providing favorable environment for the practice of the religion is one of the 9-point SMART agenda of Governor Ahmed Ali-led administration. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nawaba, NTA News.
And those are the news from this end. For now, Nationwide continues with Ugo Chukwuka in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia. Now, the remains of the late Hajia Fatima Dada Musa Yaradua have been laid to rest in Katsina. Suleiman Kudoji reports that the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Senate President Ahmed Lawal and Peter Obi, as well as the Katsina State Governor Diko Umar Rada, were among sympathizers. Other dignitaries include members of the Federal Executive Council, National Assembly members, as well as traditional rulers within and outside the state. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu commiserates with the Yaradua family over the passing of Hajia Dada. Hajia Dada was the mother of the late former President Umar Musa Yaradua and the late General Shehu Musa Yaradua. In a statement, the President also extends his condolences to Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, the people of Katsina State, and to the many lives the late matriarch touched, as well as she will always be remembered for the support, peace, joy, and comfort she offered to many. The Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, has expressed condolence to the family of the late President Umar Musa Yaradua over the death of their mother, Hajia Dada. Senator Barau prayed Almighty Allah to forgive her shortcomings and admit her to Ja'anatu Fidos. He urged those she left behind to take solace in the fact that she lived a righteous life dedicated to the service of Allah. Similarly, the Southern Senators Forum, in a condolence message signed by the chairman, Mutkai Abiru, commiserates with Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua and the entire Yaradua family over the demise of their matriarch, Hajia Dada, and prayed Allah to comfort those she left behind. And that's Nationwide today. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.